it may be better for you to buy a boat, not any boat, but a specific type of boat versus a home. Welcome back to Monarch Mondays. Today we have a great topic. And I have two topics. One is success versus happiness. The other topic is don't buy a house, buy a yacht. Now, is that a self-serving topic? It is. Now, let's look at similarities. In a home, you can have an efficiency that's probably, cheaper. You can buy a used boat from $10,000 up to, $500 million. You have efficiencies, you have, mega yacht. On a home, you may have a mortgage. On a yacht, you also can have a mortgage. Utilities. On a boat, you have utilities. On a home, you have utilities. So they're really similar in terms of payment and cost. One of the myths is that a boat is so expensive to maintain. And it may be expensive to maintain, but in some ways it's less expensive to have. For example, if you live in certain states, you have huge property taxes. You have a nice home, you're going to pay a lot of taxes. On a boat, you don't. So on a home, you might pay for your water bill. On a boat, you don't. You make your own water. So there are trade-offs here and there. On maintenance, yes, you may have higher maintenance. But we're going to go through as to why I believe you should consider that. One of the key things about real estate is what? Location, 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 right? Three rules of the three most important things about a home. With a yacht, it's you can have any location. So imagine this. You're in New York, and it's getting cold, and it's getting dusty, and you don't like it. Guess what? You can sail to Florida. Your home, you can't move it. You could have a home in Florida, and you have a condo in Miami. Now you want to go to the Bahamas and have some time. You rent a hotel in Bahamas, and you have the expense of that. You got to fly over there. You can take your yacht with you to the Bahamas. You say, you know what? I would love to go to Europe, to south of France, south of Italy. I want to really enjoy the Mediterranean. You fly over, you rent, you have hassle, you have your yacht there. So in many cases, I can show you that a yacht is actually not a bad thing to have versus a home. So I'm going to compare, just for instance, our 65, 67-foot yacht. Now, not any yacht. You want a boat that is designed to have a lot of storage and live aboard. So it has to be a full displacement boat. You can go smaller. As a matter of fact, I have a client, I have a 27-foot yacht, sailboat, and live on it all year round. Sail across the ocean. That is, that's crazy. But he does that. It's like a tiny home. But my idea is this. It's a 65-foot yacht. You have 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. You have a half bath for guests. You have a dining room. You have a salon or family room with a big screen, 80-inch television. You have an office, a private office. You have a basement with your storage. You have 2 washer, 2 dryer. You have a full fridge, a full freezer, and you also have another freezer for storage. You have everything you can think of in a home on only 65 feet. It carries enough fuel to leave from the United States to go to Europe, or leave from California to go to the Hawaii Islands. So that's what I'm looking at today when I talk about live on a yacht. You have the space to have a family. You have the amenities as a home. So what are the costs of that? Well, you can buy it cash or you can have a mortgage, just like a home. You can have your own satellite system, whether you use Starlink or you use some other form of satellite communication. So let's look at that. So we're going to compare, just for today, the Monarch 65 trawler, the Dauntless series, with an average home. We will both have a fridge. We both have television. We both have stoves, washer and dryer, dishwasher, garbage compactor. So everything you can think of you have in your home, you would have on your boat. What would cost more? Fuel. Where you live at home, you can plug into the local network, whether it's, Florida Lights or in New York, Edison or something else. On a yacht, you make your own. So you need a generator or solar. If you're at a dock, you plug into local, and that may cost more. If you also need water, on a yacht, we have a water maker. We take in seawater, remove the salt, and you have fresh water. That machine needs maintenance and has a small cost to it. So there are more costs of living on a yacht. But in my opinion, the advantage way outweigh that. For example, have you imagined, living for 3 months of Japan? Imagine your family living for another 2 months of Brazil or Chile or Jamaica or somewhere else. Or you go to Alaska in the summer and spend 3 or 6 months. Are your children growing up where they spend several months of Spain learning Spanish and several months of Japan learning Japanese? If you can afford to work from home, I would tell you to really consider having this boat. Now, you want to look at what kind of boat should you get. There is catamarans, which are good, and catamarans have more livable space above board, but less below board. I must say, I want a nice, fast boat, or I want a sailboat. I would recommend the sailboat have a learning curve. Catamarans are good in good weather, but my recommendation to you is get a really good full displacement Monarch 65. It's big enough to be comfortable, but small enough to handle with yourself or with a spouse. And material-wise, do you want steel or fiberglass? We did this before. Steel is strong, steel is reliable, and anywhere in the world you go, you find a welder who can handle steel. Anywhere in the world you go. But you had a tad bit more maintenance. Fiberglass, if it's done really, really well, is reliable, it is quiet, it has good insulation, and also easily repaired. So I would stick with those two materials, either steel or heavy fiberglass or epoxy. I wouldn't try to do aluminum or carbon fiber or wood for that. Because you want comfort, you want stability, you want very, very, very low maintenance. And I think a 65-foot yacht will give you the balance of, I have every space I need. I have 3 bedrooms and an office versus a small boat, but also it's small enough where I can go anywhere I want to go, and it's not that expensive for me to travel. So, but think about it and tell me in the commentary, would you live on a yacht? And if you do, where would you go? So I'll go back to my first question, success versus happiness. If you strive for happiness, you will have success. If you strive for success with the monetary gain, you may not have happiness. And I think at some point in your life, each one decides, what am I working for? For example, you're for a company. They give you a quarterly goal. You hit it. Next quarter, you hit it. And I say this to you, you're hitting what their goals are, not your goal. And I would implore you, say, you know what is in it for me? What do I really want? Yes, they want you to hit the sales goal, but they gave it to you. It's not really your goal, it's their goal. But buying a boat, living on it, controlling your time and your place, even your neighbor you can control. To me, that's the ultimate form of success. And what is that? Freedom. Freedom is a freedom from a boss over your shoulder, freedom from ad telling you why you should do this to be happy. It's a freedom to control your time, your place, your destination. And I think we designed our Monarch 65 for trawler for that clientele. It's not a fast boat. It's not slow either, but designed for comfort, designed to live aboard. We have 2 washer and 2 dryer. Why? Because you don't want to spend 5 hours waiting for this one machine to wash your clothes and dry your clothes. We have a walk-in fridge, a walk-in freezer. Why? Because you want to go to Costco and buy everything you need for the next 5-6 months. So if you're in the Bahamas, you have everything in your fridge or your freezer to last you that long. So you can spend long trips, long journeys, and not be worrying about provisioning your boat. You might stop by needing fresh tomatoes, you might get fresh onions somewhere else, but your main core food items you have. So you can sail to the Hawaii Islands, and then sail to Guam, and sail to that part of the world in safety and in luxury. I do believe that a yacht is a compelling argument for you to find yourself and find your happiness. And that, to me, is ultimate freedom.